Good morning and welcome to Coffee and Handicapping with Scotty here from Del Mar at the Del Mar Hilton across the street from the Del Mar racetrack. Morning, Oldie, Cindy, good morning. How are you guys doing? You guys ready to handicap Del Mar today? You guys got your picks? Oldie, give me your picks so I know what not to play because I know we're going to disagree anyways. Junior, what's going on? Tyrese. What's up, guys? Nah, I'm ready. I'm ready to handicap. And yesterday we did good. I bet right yesterday. Oh, thanks, Tyrese. That's very kind of you. I did so well yesterday. I don't know about you guys, but I did so well. I just was seeing things. Luckily, I did really well the first, I think, 5 or 6 races, and then I didn't play. I had to leave, so I didn't play. That sounds good, Michael. That's a lot going on right there. I haven't had my coffee yet, so I did have a coffee this morning, but I need another one. Yeah, we took down the pick 4. I was on fire on my betting. I was on fire. I had a really good day yesterday. Just seemed to be making the right decisions. The 5th race, yeah. Let's see. Let's go back and see. What's up, John? My man, Oldie. There's a carryover. You had Death Wish coffee? What is Death Wish coffee? I don't even know what that is. Let's see here. Del Mar, race number 1. Let's see what we had. So yesterday, the one horse, if you watched the simulcast, I said this. 1 needed the last race, gets easier here, top GSR by far, and may go gate to wire. And that's exactly what happened. It's so fantastic when that happens. I singled that horse in the pick 5, but still lost the pick 5. But I hit every other wager. I did the cold trifecta here as well. I mean, I didn't pay a lot of money, but I did have it cold. $14.40. I'm always talking about you, Cindy. I know. I was talking about you on the simulcast the other day. This is the race that hurt. I did not have this 6. And I'll tell you another, I put a note on this 6 horse too, because this horse is bred to go long. And the fact this horse beat this group of horses, which is decent, off the layoff, sprinting 6 furlongs. I mean, this horse was loaded and won this race and beat a really nice 4 horse. So watch out for Stellar Sound next time out. You can bet your life they're going to stretch this horse out next time out. 7 Sisters, I hammered this horse. I had the exacta. I did not have the trifecta because I had the 9, but I didn't have the 1 for 3rd because I didn't like the 1. Remember, I was saying that I thought the 1 would stop. And then I was telling John Lees when we were there, he's like, well, who do you like? And I'm like, well, our 3 horse outlooks this field. Like, does not look like a claimer. You cannot believe how 7 Sisters looked on the track. Just like outlooked them. Sometimes you get that. And then it made me hammer that horse even more. So we hit that. Race number 4. This one sucked. You should put a note on this one. So here's my note. First Premio broke great, was held. So I've been a fan of Umberto's, but Umberto Rispoli right now is just not riding good at all. He's just not. I mean, no disrespect to Umberto because he was riding amazing over at Santa Anita for a good period of time. But I mean, he breaks this horse great. The horse obviously had more speed. You have to understand the rail was out. And when the rail's out 30 feet like that, then speed is going to hold. And in retrospect, maybe I wouldn't have made this horse my top pick. But this horse really had not a good trip. See, Rispoli right now, what he seems to want to do is just break a horse out, hold the horse, and then make a run. That's what he seems to want to do right now. You notice that? I mean, he's got to judge the pace. And I just don't feel like he's doing that very well. And then this is where I'm not going to fault him. But because the rail was out, when the horses came to the top of the stretch, there was literally 8 of them right there in a line. And he took this horse 8 wide. So look at my note. So broke great, was held with a slow pace up front, and then went 8 wide. Also, rail was way out. Bad ride. And it wasn't a good ride. So he should have been closer to the pace, but he just grabbed the horse and made a run. I think he rode this horse too confidently. It'll be interesting to see whether he's on this horse next time out. And let me make a prediction that you're going to see Flavian Pratt on this horse next time out. Good morning, Charlie. So that was my note there. 5 was my second pick. John had mentioned Como on the show. All right, so you knew I had this horse as well. I know I'm not trusting Rispoli at all right now. Anyways, we talked about this. Not liking the 3 horse. Did not like the 3. And I picked 9, 4, 6, and the 9 horse won fairly easily. And I did not connect on the exacta. Believe it or not, I had the 8 horse for second. So I did a 9 with 4, 6, 8 exacta. And I did not put the Scotty long shot in there like a moron to come in second. And that exacta paid good. And I'm so pissed at myself. Look at that exacta, $36. And I had a $200 exacta to the 4, 6, and 8. Cost myself a lot of money because I loved the 9. I knew that. Remember, I was saying yesterday that hey, good morning, Ken. I was saying that the 8 was the 9 was gonna get a good trip. And then Feathers was my third choice in here, and Cecilia's Chapter was my top pick. And I did not do an exacta box, unfortunately. And then I left after that. But that was also a $39.20 exacta. So I forgot what it was about the 7 that I liked. Probably just picking numbers. I know. But anyways, overall, I had a wonderful day betting. It was good. We got Saratoga race number 1 coming up shortly. We'll play that. There's 8 races today, so I'll be with you guys for about an hour and 45 minutes today. We should be able to get through all 8 races. I've not even looked at the card. I've just been so busy. I did the In the Money podcast this morning. It'll come out later today, so check that out. I thought it was really poignant. I thought that Peter Fornatale did a really good job with talking about EquinEdge. When I first met Peter, he's like, Scotty, I said, you got to check out my program. He's like, I'm old school handicapping. And now he's like, now I'm using it in combination with other things. And then every time I talk to him, he's using it more and more and more and more. He loves the SOR and GSR. So hopefully we can be as hot as we were, but we really dialed that in. It was a good day yesterday. Good day. Hopefully you made some money yesterday. Pimlico, 3 to 5 shot on Bernie's on Fire. I like when this horse has got 3 wins for 71K earned, 58 SOR, a good GSR. I mean, this horse looks like the real deal. Top Scotty pick as well. I mean, everything lines up for this horse. Tactical, going to sit a really good trip. I mean, this horse has won 3 races in a row. And yeah, is moving up in class, but you got to look at the changes too. I can't stress enough. So the 3 horses claimed last time out. Claimed for 5,000, comes back for 13. So when that happens, you want to look at the trainer and see what the trainer's win percentage is. And the trainer's only 6% win percentage. So even those horses won, and he is a Scotty second pick. And maybe his form is just so good that he will win anyways. Right? Hey, Pat. Why, Cindy? Why do you say that? Let's see what the ticket generator says on the trifecta. Singling the 2 over the 3-5 over the 1-3-5. I might bet with you guys. I actually had a good day yesterday. Pulled money out. And that's always nice when you deposit money, but you're pulling way more out and then you still have money. You did really good. Good day. You need some racing luck as well. The day was set off for me when Jessica went gate to wire. That felt really good. Pimlico, wager. So how about a trifecta? $50, 2 with 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, something like that, right? And then you can come back and just do like an exacta 2 with 1, 3, 5. Something like that. You get, at least if you get the exacta, then maybe you get all your money back, but then you get to try, maybe you make some good money, something like that, you know? So the race just went off. It's hard to bet a race and not watch it, isn't it? Are you able to do that? I have a hard time with that. Remember, if you decide to play Pimlico today, remember, on the dirt, these turns are tight, really tight. So be careful if you can visualize a horse getting a wide trip. Be really careful. Four beats it too, huh? I didn't even use the 4 anywhere. Well, maybe I'm not playing Pimlico the rest of the way. Who's the 4? The Walk. I had 1-2 races in a row. My horse looked legit. Been off since February. 4-2. All right. All right, let's look at Delmar. All right, you know how it goes. So we're just going to enjoy handicapping and try to see if we see anything, and then we kind of put it all together late. So initially, we're just kind of briefly going over each race, and if one of us sees something, you know, top GSR, whatever, if I miss it, let me know and give me your thoughts as well. And then hopefully we can put it all together, and then that helps us later on. Hopefully you like the format of it, and it's a more chill show, I know, but you can eliminate 1%. So as you guys know, I use the EE morning line, win percentage and morning line together. So you got a 1% horse on the 2 and a 50-1 morning line, eliminated. 1% horse, 30-1 morning line, eliminated. There's no need to handicap those. Look at this, 30-1, 99-1 right now, not getting about 1% horse. Okay. So now I'm going to look at this 2% horse, because the EE morning line is 9-2 on this horse, 6-1 on the morning line, and has the top GSR. So it's a horse, and it's not in the top 2 Scotty though, or a Scotty long shot. So I want to look at it closer, see what's going on here. So when I look at a horse like this, I want to see, are the favorites vulnerable? So, good morning, Anthony. So I'll start like 5 back. So what do we see? First of all, we can tell this horse isn't the best breaker in the world. Broke decent last time out, but broke 8th here, going 8 furlongs, same conditions on the turf, and got 3rd, barely lost. Okay, so it doesn't look to me, at least at this distance of 8 furlongs, and 8 furlongs, it seems to be this, in 7 lifetime races, 8 furlongs on the turf is what this horse has done in 11 lifetime tries, right? Our total races. So doesn't have much speed. Going to be, you know, and the rail set at 30 feet. So a horse like this winning, not likely. 2%. Do you know what the screw part about this is? Is when you have Umberto right now, who's, I think, is cold. He's cold, and this is the type of horse he'll win on. So the horse will get ignored in the wagers, and that'll happen. All right, let's see. Cindy loves to come with these horses. All right, this horse broke from the 10 hole, 6 furlongs, 71 GSR, 68 now. Kayla Straw, didn't even know she was still riding, actually. So I like to look at the GSR plus to see, and look at it. It's like mostly sprint pedigree. You see this 5 furlongs, 6 furlongs, 5.5. Nah, I can't see it, Cindy. I can't see it. So I'm not loving the 5 horse, to be honest with you. And here's the other thing: in 7 tries at the surface and distance, the horse has 2/3 against a 48 group. Put that in comparison to the 3 horse that's Scotty's second pick, 30% top win percentage, 7-2 EE morning line, and has 4 seconds in 7 tries and 1/3. Okay, and average SOR is a 58 and has a very good GSR. I can't use the 5. Now you have to look at changes. Let's just see. Umberto first. No. So Umberto's been on this horse before. I can't use the 5. I saw Joe Bravo. Joe Bravo's on the 7 horse. I saw Joe Bravo. This morning went over and watched the horses train this morning over at Del Mar. Walked across the street. It was fantastic. So much fun. And it was met Joe Bravo for the first time. He was with his agent, Matt Nakatani. I golfed with Matt the other day. Powers Princess. Turf for the first time. GSR 59. Drops in GSR. The GSR plus is so critical. Not much breeding here. And Joe Bravo's on. But Joe Bravo, I mean, he's fantastic on the turf. Now, although that's a low GSR, you need to look at the you're comparing against the competition. But Eric, you like the 9 Queen of Pompeii? Okay. 63 GSR, 64. Let's look and see what the GSR plus is suggesting. For sure, this is a turf horse. And it looks like this horse can do pretty much anything. Sprint, turf, but it looks like 8 furlongs might be the best distance for this horse. So yeah, I can see it. Breaks from the 9 hole. Here's a couple I will say this. I don't know that the horse is a single though, Eric, because look at this. Lacked room through the turn, so having issues. The rail's at 30 feet. This horse does not break good and has had issues in the last 2 races. Now, going longer, not going to be a problem. That won't be the issue. Horse can obviously close, but and maybe this is a sign. I walked past Carla Gaines' barn this morning. I don't know, maybe, but this horse is a player in here. But with the rail being out like this and this horse having issues, I would be really careful about a horse like this. I wouldn't. This is not a single. Could it win? Of course. And then if you singled it, would you be happy? Of course. But looking at it from this point of view, it's not a single. If you have a first-time starter here who's 3-1 in the morning line, has a 70 GSR, so it has the top GSR, 8% win. That doesn't scare me though. E morning line 6-1. That doesn't scare me. Let's look at the workout pattern. Many times when you have Richard Baltus, Flavian Pratt. So I can promise you, Richard Baltus is not putting Flavian Pratt on a horse unless he likes it. And not facing the toughest competition. And likely the 9's going to have issues. The 7 doesn't look that great. 3, Warren's Candy Girl, has burned a shitload of money. This 4 horses. I passed by Craig Lewis's barn as well. I don't know what's going on here. But I'm kind of thinking this 4 horse. I might choose this 4 horse. Flavian Pratt on the turf. Right here. Oh, on the PPs you can't right now, but we are gonna put that on there. That's something that we are gonna add. But space is a really big factor, Cindy. So, but that is part of the plan. I'm thinking it's gonna go right here where it says 8 furlongs on turf. I'm thinking I'm gonna put that right there, somewhere in that box. But I mean, this horse, I mean, as the favorite 3 times, the horse has not done well, right? So, I mean, so I think the favorites are vulnerable. I don't know which race was that, Marco. The work pattern on the 4 horse. Okay, like I said, when you have a horse going on turf for the first time, going 2 turns, you're going to see much slower works, and that's what we're seeing right now. I'm trying to see one work in here that would indicate that this horse is talented, but I'm the GSR alone. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So let's see. Gate workout here. It's interesting for a horse going 2 turns. why you're working the horse out of the gate. 1, 2. It's only 2 times. Am I missing it? It's twice. By Kitten's Joy, Baltus Flavian Pratt. I don't know. I just think the favorites are vulnerable. The pace, well, we don't know how fast the 4 is. Likely, but there's no way of knowing. No way of knowing. It's not there. It's not there. Probably right here. You have a sprinter stretching out, the 1 horse who's getting bet, has a good GSR. This horse is a player. This horse could have a clear lead. I don't know how fast this horse is, but this horse was sprinting first time from the rail, broke 7th, and rushed up. So likely this 7 horse has some speed, and this horse was near the pace sprinting, so likely this horse. So it's going to be 178. They're going to be on the lead. It looks like there's going to be an honest pace, but then you got 4. There's 10 horses in this race. Yeah, the 1 horse could go gate to wire, Pat. Yeah, we are going to expand to worldwide tracks. Yep. Same user interface, everything. You're going to have tracks all over the world. Same exact user interface. You won't have to learn anything else to play. Australia, Hong Kong, all of them. I don't know much about yeah, I've got a stuffy nose. It was really neat, though. I think you get hay fever walking around there, but it was fun. Nice to see, all the jockeys and exercise riders and stuff. It's beautiful in the mornings. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I think the 9 will run too, Junior. I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's 10 horses in the race. I'm going to have to navigate. When that rail's set at 30 feet, that's out there. I don't know if you saw yesterday's races, but watch some backtracks of the races yesterday, and then you'll understand. Look and see if any horses came from behind. Okay. All right. So that's kind of preliminary handicapping. We'll come back. Oh, by the way, too, and you see Flavian Pratt gets off the 5 horse. Oh, by the way, too, look at Craig Lewis and Drayden Van Dyke. 0 for 10 is a jockey trainer combination. Drayden's only hitting 11%. Craig Lewis at 12%, and that's horses 30%. I mean, these are the types of horses. And then you look and you see how much money this horse has burned. I mean, can it win? Yeah. This is where it's a problem, because how many horses are you going to cover? I just got to believe that this is where a first-time starter can win. I tell you what, I'm probably going to make my top pick the 4, and then the 1, and I'll probably take the 9 for 3rd. That's what I'm guessing right now. But how is all the information gathered? So the information comes from Equibase, the raw data, and then that raw data hits our algorithms and our programs, right? And that we program, that our developers program, and they come together and then they form what you're looking at. But somebody has to program in all that raw data, and that's Equibase. Now, a lot of the foreign information we're dealing with all the data providers for all these, different regions around the world, for that matter. And so we'll be using some different people for that. But yeah, we're going to have races all over the world. All right, let's go to race number 2. So that was good preliminary handicapping. We kind of have an idea of the race, right? We put down on no notes, but we have an idea of what this race is about, and we'll come back to it. So let's go to this next race. I have a note, but that's an old note. Needs lead. Well, that's not true. This horse rated here. So that, so real tough one here. This horse one time came from behind, but did the race stop? Because if you look at this horse, it really does not. It always loses ground, doesn't seem to do well, except for this one race on March 14th. So it's a really tough one. 3 minutes to post, 8 minutes to post, right? Eight minutes to post. All right, let's look at Saratoga real quick. Sugar and Spice, a first-time starter. That's a big number. When was the last time you saw a first-time starter have a 43% number? The Scotty picks have that horse on top. GSR is not great. Jockey trainer combination, 19%. I mean, E morning line 9 to 5, and that's off of a 5 to 2 morning line. There's 3 scratches though. Hey Keith, happy Friday. So let's look at the workouts. Cruising. All of a sudden you do this. See, this is what I look for. Okay. June 20th and June 25th. So it's a 5-day pattern. You don't see that very often. So to me, they're trying to get this horse fit as soon as possible to run in this race. They knew what race they wanted to run in. It's a New York bred. This is a New York bred race. Then they come over here 6 days later and they get look at this, 4th of 23. Could work. Then 7 days later, so now seem to be caught up. 13 to 25. Nice workout. Then 2 of 110. Almost 48 flat from the gate. And then they come back 7 days later. So the work pattern's been really good. Really good. And then they're just cruising here. No need. They already know. This workout tells me they didn't have to go fast. The horse was ready to go. Cruising, ready to go. Has the outside post. Going to be very tough to beat. 7, first-time starter. This one's a little bit more tougher to read. I'm going to guess that Sugar and Spice is going to be awfully tough. Hey, Tony. Yeah, that July 15th work is insane. Laban's Legacy. I would be. This horse is obviously taking action, but I would. The 8 looks like the real deal. Maybe it's just these 2 horses. I mean, the 7 is taking money, but here's the thing. Look at this: 2 to 1 in the morning line, 9 to 2 on the E morning line. Jockey trainer combinations 5%. People could be betting this horse just because of that 2 to 1. Hey, James. I'm doing good, Tony. How are you doing? Let's see here. June 10th, June 17th. They got a bullet there. Then just cruising. Working out at Finger Lakes. Nah. E morning line's 5 to 1, though, from a 20 to 1 morning line. Well, 3 horses were scratched. What's the weather like over there? Scattered clouds. I'm betting the 8 for sure. Bow show. 8 is getting my money. The weather looks okay there. Free 99. So we got a bunch of first-time starters, don't we? The 3 is run once. Hustled and Weekend. $7 to 2 right now. E more in line 2 to 1. Let's see here. And you can never ignore the Scotty long shot. That's a first-time starter. These are good workouts. These are very good workouts. You know, a lot of times you'll get, oh, thank you, Tyler. What's up, my man? Say hello to Tyler Hoffman, everybody. I know. I was outside. I was over at the track this morning. And yeah. How are you doing? Yeah, I mean it's kind of overcast, but it's just nice. It's so nice. 7 is taking a lot of action, no question. But I still think this 8 horse is the real deal. There's $438,000 in this Big 5 pool so far. So I definitely would just, there's Carl. Hey, Carl. Yeah, some good stakes races, Carl. So I'm gonna bet. I'm gonna do an 8-7, and then I'm gonna do an 8-5. I'm gonna play against the 3, and that could come back to bite me. But I'm playing. I'm just doing 8-7, 8-5. Scotty Longshot first time starters. I'm just not ignoring, and then I'm gonna bet the 8 to win. Oh, you're inside. You're here. Where are you? Are you out? Oh, you're inside. All right. Let's see if we can look at these horses too. So I feel like I've been getting better over the last couple of years of looking at horses, right? And yesterday I saw that 3 horse, and it was, I think, the 3rd race, and I was all over that horse after I saw it. I already had picked it on top. John Lees had already picked it on top, and then I saw that, and I'm like, oh man, I'm all over this horse. But 8 right now is 2 to 1. What up, brother? Everything good?
Everything's good.
Good. And yeah, it's just when you can look, you can just tell, like when you're looking at all the horses and they look the same, and all of a sudden one horse stands out, and that's the way the 3 looked yesterday in the 3rd race. I forgot the name of the horse, and that horse ended up winning by like 6 lengths. And I remember telling John Lees, he said, "Well, who looks best out there?" I'm like, "Oh my God, that 3 horse looked like $1 million," and I just raised my bets. As a matter of fact, initially on my bets, I had done exacta boxes, and I, with different horses. And then when I looked at the horse on the track, I'm like, "Oh man, like I don't like the way the 3 is acting right now, at all." Remember, I was saying too, if you can, can you look at this 8 horse and tell this horse is 2 years old? Right? I can't. Good butt. So look at that. I can't tell that the 8 horse is a 2-year-old, and that's a really good sign. The 3 horse, I could tell. So we'll see if it plays true. 7 horse, somebody likes it. It's 4 to 5, but it was 2 to 1 in the morning line as well. So sometimes the public just, especially when you're talking about like destination tracks like Del Mar or Saratoga, you notice sometimes you get bigger payouts, especially on big race days in those tracks, because there's a lot of dead money. Well, let's see what happens here. The 8 looks really good on the track, and I did not see the 7. So maybe some of you got a chance to see the 7. I didn't like the way the 3 was acting on the track. 5 looks okay. Still the Scotty Longshot, so I'm just giving it that respect. 6 looks okay. 8 looked amazing. 7 looks good. 7 does look good. So the 8-7 for me is a cover bet. What you want is what you're praying for when you play first-time starters like this is that your horse breaks good, because many first-time starters just don't break good. So you want to see the 8 go into the gate nicely, not hesitate, and she did. And let's hope she breaks outside the 7 and breaks better. That post. Hopefully the post makes a difference. And 8 broke okay. 5 broke slow. So the 2 favorites broke on top. 7 broke on top though. I don't think Rosario is the best gate jockey. For me, Tyler Bays is. But Rosario is strong, no question. But I mean, 7's running easy. Do you hear that? So the track is sealed. So I highly doubt anybody comes over and passes the 7 and 8. I mean, I'm guessing with the amount of money the 7 took, it's the real deal. So we'll see what happens. But the 8's right there. We got a shot. So you're not catching the 7. Not happening. Wow. And the 8's not even going to hold second. Wow, look at this 7. So the 7 was the real deal. Wow. 7, 3, 8. So 8 really disappointed. No excuses either. Now here's the problem with this. You don't know if the 8 needed the race or not. You just don't know. This horse could come back and romp next time out. Rosario is in a slump. 7 horse took all that action, was the real deal, no question. All right, let's get back to Del Mar. You use the 7 on top? Good. It all comes down to betting. All right. 3% 50 to 1 morning line. 1% 50 to 1 morning line. 3% 35 morning line. All right. So we can eliminate those pretty confidently, right? Then we have GSR. We have a good one here. Let's see what happens. So the 5 horse is also top Scotty pick. Morning line 6 to 1. 7%, but the top win percentage is only 26%. Hey, Carl. And a nice GSR. So 5, Scotty Longshot, top GSR. So, and it's a first-time starter. Scotty Longshot, first-time starter. Wow. I'll tell you what, Mike McCarthy as well. I just don't know what to make about that gap from July 14th to July 23rd. I don't know what to make of it. But it's a Scotty Longshot, top GSR for Spendthrift. I highly doubt. Let's look and see what this horse is bred for. That they're not. Oh, look at that. Look at that turf number of 80. This is a really well-bred horse. And look at this. Wants to sprint. Wow. Of course, this horse that's run once from Gulfstream Park is going to be the horse that gets the most action. But I will tell you this. Do not leave the Scotty Longshot out here. Do not leave that horse out. Wow. I might make that horse my top pick. I didn't like this, though. I didn't like July 14th to July 23rd. I don't know why you would go 9 days. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason. Why there's only 4 works showing, I don't know. The sire is Lord Nelson. So Lord Nelson, one of the better sprinters, right, that we've seen. This horse is, look, I mean, it's all sprint pedigree. You see that? Look at that. I mean, if this horse is ready to go, wow. Yeah. Do we look at race number 2 yet? Or did I miss it? No, I didn't. Okay. So we have the 6 horse top GSR, a good one, by 5, 47%. EE morning line 2-1. Bill Morey claimed the horse for 40,000. Comes back for 40. Jose Valdivia is aboard. Interesting. So a ship and win candidate here is in for 40. With this, he could have put this horse in for anything. He could have dropped this horse down, but he didn't. The workout, the 4 of 69 here was tremendous. Bill Moore knows what he's doing, I'll tell you that right now. Top Scotty pick as well. And he's had time with this horse. This horse is the real deal in this race. I love the 6 hole for a horse that has this kind of speed and is tactical. And look, when this horse has been the favorite, he's been, except for that 8 furlong race, this horse has been very reliable. And this horse really is bred to go longer. But this horse has been sprinting like a champ. This is not a hard group either. These are some good works. Oh yeah. Yeah. Flavian Pratt jumps on the 2. Horse breaks its maiden. Bump to the start, 4 to 5 wide at the same. Oh no, that was for a non-1 as a 2 lifetime. I mean, you're talking about a horse that just ran in a non-1 as a 2 lifetime, okay? This horse is 3-1. What's the E morning line? 4-1. I know Flavian Pratt jumps aboard, but now this horse is facing a horse like the 6 horse who's won 4 times. And this horse just lost and went off at 6-1 in a non-1 as a 2 lifetime race. I mean, this horse is going to go off at 6 or 7-1, I would think. No, thank you. That makes me like the 6 that much more. Let's look at the 1 horse, Mucha Woman. 21-1 in a 68 SOR. Throw that out. Never had a chance anyways. 8 furlongs, showed speed, now cuts back in a 54 group. This is tougher. 56 group going 6 furlongs here. Ran good. I mean, needs a perfect trip. And on the rail. Needs a perfect trip. Okay. Don't really love that. Juan Hernandez on the 7 horse, a Scotty Longshot. Hmm. 20-1 on the morning line. EE morning line's 5-1. Look at that. How's that? No changes either. I mean, 5-1 on the morning line. Steadied between the quarter. All right, so you can throw out the last couple of races for the 7 horse. The 7 could come out running and is fast. Interesting horse, the 7. No, I haven't. It sounds good though. I think the 6 could be a single. I really do. I think the 6 could be a single. This 7 horse Starship Defiance, interesting though. This horse can be on the lead throughout those last couple of races, and this horse dropping in for a tag. But you're talking about a horse that's won 6 races, facing 1 win, 1 win, 1 win, 3 wins here, but against easier, and 2 wins. This horse seems to be a horse that needs a lead. So there's going to be some pace in here. 3 is going to shoot out to the lead. 7 is going to try to go to the lead as well. This horse, the 4 horse, is going to probably do the same thing. The 1 horse, except for, because I had that note on here, remember that I thought the 1 needed the lead, so the 1's going to probably shoot out. This horse has shown it can sit 2.5 lengths back and win the race. But this one also, I think this one can rate some. I really do. I think the 6. Hey, Tom. That's actually a really good stat, though. We'll get there on the horse of the day for sure. We're only in the 2nd race, but we'll get there. But so horses from Churchill Downs are 0 for 8 on the main track. I did notice that. Hey, Loloy. You know what though? This horse looks really good. There's some speed in here. Abel Cedillo going to get a good trip from the inside? I don't know. Showing speed going longer and now cuts back to 6 furlongs. Maybe this horse gets a really good trip. I do think the 1's going to run good. You know what? So those 2 races were. I prefer 6.5 furlongs when horses are going 2 turns and then cutting back. But this horse has got a win and a 2nd place barely in the last couple of tries going 6 furlongs on the main surface. So only 7 horses in the race too. Yeah, Rob, you could be right. You could be right on the 6. I'm liking the 6. Bobby, my man. I think you in town, Bobby? Don't forget, racing over at Del Mar starts at 4 o'clock Pacific, and the show with John Lees and I, the simulcast starts at 3:02. Okay. I'm kind of leaning towards the 6 is going to be a single, but I think the 1 could sit a good trip on the cutback, showing speed, getting easier horses here. What does this horse want to do? What's the breeding suggest? I mean, the breeding suggests this horse wants longer. So, all right, let's go to race number 3. We eliminated some horses, didn't we? 1. Scotty Long Shot first time started the 5, Topanga Canyon. 0 for 12 jockey trainer combination. Ricardo Gonzalez and Mike McCarthy. I don't care. The win percentages are even. So okay, let's look here. 1 to 20 bullet. 7 days later, cruising. 11 to 32. Already know. No, see, and then from the gate. Simon Callahan, Flavian Pratt. This horse is likely to come out running. I'll tell you that right now. Oh, this is a wide open race. Cruising. That's a good workout right here on June 12th. Cruising. Nice workout here from the gate. The 26th. The 3rd. Nice workout. Another nice workout. Great spacing. I mean, this. So I'll tell you, this is where what'll help you. Use the. Okay, so look at this horse most likely wants longer, most likely, and has no turf breed in the 10, even though the workouts are good. For Peter Miller and Umberto. From the 10 hole, 5 to 1. I just can't. I can't see it. 18% I know, but this horse, in order for this horse to win, it's going to have to be so much faster than everybody else. Wishing on a Star. Mike McCarthy, Mario Gutierrez. Matt Nakatani. Corey Nakatani's son is the jockey agent for Mario Gutierrez. Look at this turf breeding and sprint pedigree. Oh, man. And top Scotty pick. Wow. Sprint and turf. Maybe it's all about the 6. Second time starter. You know what we can do? Let's do this. You guys don't have this yet, but let's look. Let's look at the link feature and see. I want to see who won that race. Mo Tutoring or Turing, the first time starter who was bet to 3 to 1 that was well meant. The one, Magnolia Road, came back and got a 3rd place finish. Did not run good. 7 horse, My Favorite Daughter. Came back to win by 25 lengths. Wow. That's interesting. And was the favorite in this race. Looks like, but look at the GSR. Oh, I remember this horse. Look at the GSR of 29 in this race. Wow. Okay, hold on here. 29. Right. Yeah, Gassie's tough. Mo Turing, 45. So it, okay. Why does that show that? He's at 29, but he's showing 67. I don't know if the number changed. French bred. Let's look at the GSRs. All in the 60s. It looks like a strong race. Mark Cassie, though. Juan Hernandez. You know, first-time starters don't usually win sprinting on the turf. And look at this horse. This horse's breeding is to go longer, and probably dirt. You might want to play against this horse. Not in the top two, Scotty as well. First-time starter for Mike McCarthy. I can't get by this horse, but this horse is well bred. Interesting horse. I mean, just everything is pointing towards this horse wants longer, right? And it's a first-time starter. And Flavian Pratt's aboard, so this horse is probably going to take money. This horse looks wishing on a star like it wants longer as well, both on dirt and turf. So I'm going to go like this. I'm not saying they can't be in the money, but I'm trying to find the winner right now. I don't like the 10, I don't think, because of that post. And the turf breeding is not that great. It might want longer as well. Sprinting on dirt, mixed. Interesting. When they're mixed like that, it makes me maybe use a horse where, see how it's sprint pedigree here on the dirt, but on turf, looks longer and not as good on the turf. I don't like the 10 hole, but maybe there's something there. So I want to see this one horse and see who it's faced over at Los Alamitos. So this horse came back, got a third place finish, and didn't come back to run good. All right, so looks okay. Showed some speed before stopping against what appears to be easier horses. Now it jumps on the turf. The GSR goes from 71 to 58. The horse is bred more for dirt. And but the horse is Scotty's second pick, which makes me like the 6 that much more. I tell you what, I'm liking the Scotty long shot. Yeah, I'm with you, Bill. Preliminarily, I'm going to just say 5, 6. Looks like this horse wants longer as well. Yeah, both sides. All right, race number 4. Broke his maiden, her maiden, Ben Cecil, Mario Gutierrez. So first thing I see is the one horse, Big Andy, with a 68 SOR, got a third place finish. So I want to look at this. And this horse third off the layoff, cutting back to 6 furlongs. The GSR steered out, empty. This is a really rough race. Then I'm going to look now to see, is this horse reliable? Second race off a long layoff. You would think these horses would win these races, but they don't always. They don't always. Peter Miller, Flavian Pratt. Comes back at the same level. I like that. Got a second place finish against 7 other horses. Nothing wrong with that. All right. I mean, legitimate favorite. Turf. Lost ground. Favorite 3 different times that you can see on the last 8 races and spit the bit out. GSR. Like, man, this is a rough race. Hey, Judy. Agree to disagree. Okay, so I was mentioning on the podcast that I did In the Money today, and you see this last race here, agree to disagree, the 6 horse, who's the second pick. Look, the horse was in a 58 SOR, went off at 3-1, 61 GSR, swung 6 wide, and only lost by 3 1/4 lengths. Now, this horse is not supposed to run good in that race. Now gets 6 furlongs. The SOR is 56, a little bit easier than the 58, and goes up 9 points in GSR. So easier competition. The distance looks good, and the GSR goes up to a 70. Like, so things are pointing towards this horse, and it looks, the way this horse was finishing at 5.5 looks that 6 furlongs would be perfect for this horse. So I think the 6 horse makes a lot of sense. Jessica Pfeiffer and Peter Urton. So I like the 6. I like the 5 and 6 right now. 4 horse, Pistachio Princess. Let's look at this horse carefully. Broke its maiden for 50,000 claiming. Excuse me. What I do like is the horse drops from a state bred straight maiden into a 50,000 state bred claiming race and wins immediately. Okay, so that could give this horse some confidence. Many times these horses come back to run good. All right, so we got to make sure we look at the changes. But so far, I'm liking the Scotty picks. Changes. Andrew Lerner claimed the 1 horse, Big Andy, for $50,000. Blinkers are back on. And the horse had a bullet. 1 of 90. I don't know how good that work was. E Morning Line, though, is poor. How about the E Morning Line on the 3 horse? Elgo Franco. 9-2 from a 15-1 morning line on the 3. I don't know why. I don't know. But I respect the algorithm. Really, this horse only had 1 poor race. That was 2 backbreaking from the 12 hole. What carried wide, you can see floated out, right? And so if you throw that out, I mean, the horse fits here. Man, what's up with my yawning? Big Andy. 50,000 claiming. Didn't show speed. So the thing I don't like about a horse like the 1 horse is it did not show speed while going longer, and now cuts back. And then you can see at 6.5 furlong against a 50 group at 6.5, the horse barely got up and now has to cut back to 6 furlongs. and facing tougher competition. I know it's 4-1, but it's 9-1 on the EE morning line, and I know it's got a big work. And they're adding blinkers, which makes sense. But from what I can see, whenever they added blinkers, the horse doesn't finish as well. But tough race. So what I like about the 6, Scotty's second pick, was 6 wide last time out at 5.5 furlong and furlongs and was finishing. I like that against arguably better horses. Comes back to the same level, but arguably better horses. And draws a good post. I don't know how much speed this horse has because 3 back, the horse was tactical. I'm not really sure what happened in the maybe you know what? Going to be closer. You know what? I see a pattern here. 5.5 furlongs, the horse is not as close. So is tactical, and when the horse is tactical, is right there. I think the 6 is going to be right there. I really do. I like the 6. All right. Cindy said the 2 horse needs the lead. Broke her maiden against a 42 group, first off the layoff. That's a real tough one. Because I'm guessing she faced such a weak group. This is much tougher. Much tougher group. Is there any other speed in here? Hey, Alex. I don't like the 2. That was just an easy group. That was an easy group of horses. I'm not impressed with that horse. This is an interesting horse. The 7. Kyle Frey coming in and did not run bad against a 58 group. Hey, Chad. Dancing Dana. Three times Burn Money is the favorite. Faced the 6 horse last time out, and the 6 was finishing better than the 8. Not really a fan of the 8. Yeah. I'm still on the 6. I'm still on the 6 and the 5. I'm going to say 6-5-4. That's what I think. You know, the workouts don't really matter when you're talking about a horse that's been racing, right? I mean, 5:15. The horse can do that all day long. I mean, that was a 42 group. This is a 56 group. And horses that break their maiden only come back to win 5% of the time. I mean, I know you're looking at that speed, and look at this horse in all 6 lifetime races has broke on top. So she's going to break on top, no question. The 7 horse could be sitting in a garden spot, really could. Very, very interesting horse. That was not a bad race last time out against arguably better horses. 7's very interesting. This is a really, 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 really tough race. It really is. Very, very tough race. I think the 6 is going to get a good trip, sitting only maybe 3 or 4 lengths back. And I think that's and this horse just looks solid as well. So they come out of the same race. Third by 2 1/4. Second by 2. So the 5 horse I have to look at that closer. I'm not sure I'm going to put 6, 5, 4 in that order yet, and I'm looking at the consideration of the 3 and 7 as well. The 4 horse. The 4 horse is a Scotty Longshot, Pistachio Princess. So broke its maiden by 4 lengths. I mean, it just finally got an easier group. That's all that happened. Got an easier group. I'm always going to lean against horses that are proven against winners. See, this horse, 6 furlongs on the turf, barely lost. And then goes 5.5. And look at the GSR. So this horse ran good when the GSR dropped 11 points. Do you see that? Cindy says the 2 horse breaks and is gone. I mean, maybe. I'm playing against that happening, personally. It's hard for me to get by the 9-2 morning line here on this 3 from a 15-1 morning line. Ticket Journey does? No kidding. Trifecta. Depends on the wager. 5 and 6. Pick 5. One through 8. And a weaker maiden race, but broke from the rail, broke 7th. Our Miss Millie. I mean, that wasn't a bad, stumbled and ran a good race against, once you put this horse this level. Now back up to straight maidens. Scotty Longshot. I mean, it's tough. And these races don't get any easier tomorrow. 11 of them. Bing Crosby. And it looks like the toughest race you ever want to see. Can't imagine there was a tougher Bing Crosby. Oh, you had the 2 and the 6 for a smaller ticket? Really? Well, it's using the 2, 5, and 6, so I believe you. So you see Unusual Ride, who's the second Scotty pick. You see the S right here? So many of you know that this stands for state bred. The F is for female, okay? So horse broke 8th, didn't break well, only barely lost against 10 other horses. Maybe it was a 6.5 furlongs or whatever, but then moves up against Open Company. You don't see an S here, and doesn't run as good. Now gets back to state bred. Normally a very good sign. The horse is 18%, has a big look. You take this 10 horse who could end up running good, a sprinter stretching out. The GSR is good, but does draw the 10 hole. I mean, the 10 hole, not necessarily a good place to be. So, I mean, maybe, let's see the changes. Unusual Ride, the 2 horse. I mean, this could be the type of horse that wants long. All right, the Chosen Brawn looks like a single. It does. I'm looking carefully at this horse. This horse ran good going 8 furlongs on the turf, on the dirt. GSR 73. Let's see. Could the Chosen Brawn get beat? Okay, so you have a horse like this who's ran and winning easily in these graded races, right? So in many cases, this is a state bred. I really do think that the 1 horse is really getting an easy group because it's been facing Open Company, okay, grade 3 races, and now is in a state bred non-graded stakes race here for these Cowbreds for $175,000. I mean, just looks too tough for these, right? Just does. 7 furlongs, not going to matter. The GSR is still very good. I mean, I don't know that there's anything else to. I don't really care for the 6 horse that much, to be honest with you. So the GSR drops, look at this, to a 59. So 8 points there, and that's the Scotty second pick. Let's Get Lucky, the Scotty long shot. Looks to really want longer. And I think the horse will improve going longer, can do dirt or turf. Seems to have some talent. Scotty Longshot's an interesting horse and has a lot of speed as well. Could this horse go gate to wire? I mean, obviously, the negative here is that the one horse is on the rail. That is a negative. The 3-horse Top Harbor, no speed, terrible breaker, doesn't have a class advantage. Don't know how you beat this group of horses, honestly. The Scotty Longshot is very interesting because of that speed. This is a very, very fast horse. But had an easy lead last time out against a 66 group. Now has to go 7 furlongs. But sometimes you can really carry that speed. Let's see here. Very interesting horse. Brian Corner can train. So you can see the only poor race, and it wasn't a terrible race, lost by 3 1/4, that the one had was against grade 2 horses. That was it. Now it gets state bred. The horse has to be a single. If you don't single this horse, I don't know who you're going to single. Got to be the one. You know, a lot in these like state bred, non-graded stakes races, and you have $175,000 purse, you're going to have people taking shots for sure. They probably never had even thought that the Chosen Brawn would be in this race, but this horse has been beating open company grade 3 horses. So, I mean, this horse looks done. Top Harbor underneath that. Let's see here. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, this horse finishes. Not a good breaker, though. Not a good breaker. So you might want to do something like putting the 1 on top and then maybe keying the 3-horse in the 2nd and 3rd spots. So do like a 1-3 or 1-3 exacta, and then coming back with like a 1 with 3 trifecta. You know, something like that. But one's going to go off at 1 to 5, I would imagine. And if it doesn't, the only reason is because the rail. I mean, it does need to get the trip, but it's going to be probably so much the best horse that it can find that trip. And that's, if you're going to use a horse on the rail, especially at Del Mar, because they've only won 1 race so far at this meet, then it needs to have a class advantage or a pace advantage. And in this case, it's a class advantage. All right, so 1. I'm just trying to figure out who's going to be the 2nd horse. I think this horse doesn't have the class. I'd like the class. I would agree on the 3-horse. This horse has never been 7 furlongs. Flavian Pratt, Peter Miller. I'm just going to stick with the system here. But I'm going to go 1, 6, 3. 1, 6, 3. The rail's been playing terrible. But again, you have to have a class advantage or you have to have a pace advantage. So let's look at the top GSR. So it had a 42 SOR last time out and a 70 GSR. Comes back at the same surface and distance. The field looks a little bit tougher. Same, pretty much everything's the same. Got a second place finish against 5 other horses. Not really she's kind of a slow breaker. And definitely bred for turf. I mean, only has 4 races. First time the turf. Horses like this often get better in their second race on the turf. So cannot see why this horse can't improve on the turf. Same everything. Everything is the same. So now, of course, in maiden special weight races, state bred, even 44 is low because the mean is 50 and is 44. So that last race was a 42, which means, yes, the horse, look, you wonder how a horse like this improves. Look what happened. It was a weaker race. What does throw me off, though, is the very first lifetime race at 5.5 furlongs. Well, it was only, you know what? It was only 3 other horses. I take that back. It says it was a 52 group, but it was 3 other horses. We'll see. This horse faced a 54 group, first time out, 3-1, lost by 2 3/4 lengths, stretches out. The stretch out is no problem. Oh, wow. Yeah, this 10 looks good. Solid. Yeah, so when you compare the 10 with the 4, there's just no comparison, right? Look at that, 54 compared to a 42. 12 points better on the strength of race. Ran good first time out, stretches out now, looks like a horse who wants 2 turns. Carla Gaines, Flavian Pratt. No, the 10 horse is the horse to beat, for sure. I'm sticking with the system here. I don't love the post, but horse is stretching out, probably going to show speed. I don't think there's anything else in here. I mean, you maybe look for a GSR change. This horse is dropping in GSR. This horse is dropping in GSR. This horse is going up 20 points in GSR. That's interesting. It's an interesting long shot. Richard Baltus, right? Lake Flamingo. This horse will probably go off at 20-1. Interesting horse anyways. So it goes from a 40 GSR, no impact, to a 60 GSR. That's a big change. Oh, thank you, Ed. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? The pace, right, Ed? I figured, I just had a feeling, based on what I saw in Handicapped, I just had a feeling that she was going to take that horse to the lead from the inside, and that this was an easier group. Hey, Peyton, the 7 horse, Bobby. Let's see here. So, 68 GSR. It drops in GSR. Here's the thing. Well, it has turf breeding for sure. Had a 68 GSR going 6 furlongs on the dirt. And now is dropping. I don't like that, but the turf tap is very good. There was also a 30,000 maiden claimer. And now is in, I can't disagree with you that the horse has a look, but I don't like the drop in GSR. And I don't like the increase in class from a 44. When you have a horse like, here's what, look at the 10. How much dominant, the 10 is going to probably be my single. And I like the 2. I do like the 2. I'll tell you what we're going to do. This field that the 10 faced was tremendous. Let's look at the staging and see. Race number 5 to 10. All right. Nina's big boy. All right, let's look at this. Lost to the 9. And the 9 came back in the fleet treat. Did you see that? Look at that. 10 horse was a price play. And that horse didn't look bad. Interesting. And the 4, Queen of Pompeii, this horse didn't look bad as well. So much, much tougher group. And Starship, let's see here. Lena's big day. Let's see here. Got fourth. Got fourth. Increase in GSR. I mean, I would think the 10 is going to be good. I do want to look at the 2, just to confirm what this field looks like. I mean, this horse came back to barely lose against 10 other horses, so the 2 horse is the real deal, right? Definitely. Bowl of cherries. Oh, see, this horse looked really good. And then came back to do that. So but Unusual Ride was 26% in this race and disappointed. Was supposed to run good. So now stretches out, and then the GSR goes up a little bit. So we need to look and see again. I mean, looks okay. I think Lena's big boy. This is a single. I'm going to single the 10. I think the 9 horse can improve, so I'm going to go 10-9-2. I mean, it looks okay. The horse just looks okay, but disappointed last time out. Was 27% last time out and didn't run good. Now, I think that this horse, everything is pointing towards the 10 horse. For Miss O'Brien, this horse looks okay. I mean, ran good, improved. But if we look at the 4 horse, I bet you it's a weak group. But let's take a look at this group of horses in closer. Lost to this horse, who's a hard-knocking horse. Hard-knocking horse, actually. This one's not, though. Won by 4 1/4. Miss O'Brien got second. Okay, beat the 5 horse by a lot. So this horse is kind of in between. I like the 4 horse, actually. Miss O'Brien. I think this horse can run good, actually. I'm going to take the I'm going to say 10-4-2. And 10 is going to be a single. All right. Lure him in. Probably best very wide against a 58 group. That was a while back. I'm into current form. Last 2 races, wide posts. That's really important too. I mean, that's why this information is here. If we put it up there, there's a reason. The post, look at this. You're going like 11 posts going 6.5 furlongs at Sandy. I can tell you, you were probably wide, and then you still only lost by 3 lengths. Then you go 8 furlongs. You've got the 10 hole. You were wide there around that first turn, especially. I mean, and you ran a decent race. So the problem with this horse, and it seems to be getting better, is that it's going up against a 58 group. That's the problem. Broke its maiden 2 back, but against winners last time out wasn't bad. From what I'm reading, initially they had talked about it. From what I'm reading, no, there's not going to be much of a chance that Arlington's coming down. Three Big Buzz. You know, the E morning line is something you really want to look at carefully too, because sometimes it's going to expose some horses. Sort the GSR. You're looking at Big Buzz, who's 16% in a wide open race, 69 GSR, but has had 3 races at the surface and distance. That was a 62 group last. This horse seems very vulnerable to me. I like Flavian Pratt aboard, but this is really tough. So, I mean, this 3 wins in 28 races, 7 seconds for the 3. Definitely want to see changes. Flavian Pratt jumps back aboard. Been on before. Nothing else of note. Jockey trainer combination. Abel Cedillo gets off of the 3 horse. Okay, so Abel Cedillo is a good jockey. And the horse went off at 21-1 and ran like it, right? You can often look at odds. Okay, I'll show you. So look, goes off at 7-5, wins the race. Goes off at 81-1, spits out the bit. Goes off at 6-5, wins. Goes off at 27-1, runs bad. 2-1, almost wins. 21-1, doesn't run well. You see what I mean? Like, this horse is going to get bet today, so most likely the horse will run good. Will it win? Who knows? Does it seem to me like this horse does better when it's on or very near the lead? Yes. Is it reliable to win? No. Will Flavian help the horse? Probably a little bit. Capital Call barely wins maiden breaker in a 44 SOR. I mean, you're asking an awfully lot. That being said, in 45-1 on the E morning line, but the top win percentage is only 22%. Farquhar. So this horse has no speed, needs pace. So far, I'm not seeing the pace in this race. I mean, there is. Who's going to go the lead? Maybe it's the 7. Can the 7 go gate to wire? Michael McCarthy and Kyle Frey? Possibly. Problem is, 7 Charms got a really low GSR. But, like, 9 furlongs is no problem. But, oh no. 10 plus is really low, but 8.5, 9, 10 in the 60s? I don't know. I think the GSR a little bit fishy on this one, possibly. Love. So far, this looks like the toughest race on the card. Big Buzz and Love. Big Buzz is your horse for sure. No, that's true, Daniel. It's a tough race. I'm having a hard time with this one. The ladies are... Yeah, I seem to do better in the filly and mare races for sure. Oh, those aren't the ladies you're talking about? Beautiful women here. This horse breaks terrible. Can't love that. But it is 11 furlongs, but then, you know, who's going to be on the pace? This 7 Charms is very interesting, but that was a really low 2 and 2. Actually, I'm not even touching that one. You're killing me. The SOR of 40 is really low. I know the horse 1 looks impressive, but that's why we give you the strength of race. That the horse is going to have to improve for sure. Now, that was a weak group, but lightly raced. I keep yawning. I'm so sorry. Don't know where that's coming from. Could be I only had an hour's worth of sleep last night. I don't know. I got up at 5 o'clock so I could be ready for the In the Money podcast. Cosmo will run big. Cosmo will run big. I actually can't argue with you about that. But that was a weaker group, an allowance group, has a low GSR. It broke its maiden against a 44 Group 2 back. Prior to that, been burning money. But it's just a wide open race. But why do you like Cosmo? What's the morning line on that horse? 12-1. It's ugly. This is an ugly field as far as competition. Sterling Drive, the 4. Now let's come back to this one. So I was over at Jake's on the Beach last night, and Paul Aguirre, who's the trainer of this horse, and he's the Scotty Longshot. Horse broke last at 6-1 first time out. Gets 7 furlongs. GSR is good. Said he liked his horse. I can see it. So maybe include the 9 horse. Look for a new jockey. This horse was loaded. That was against a 48 group. Then gets a 38 group and loses the race. Look at this too. This is an absolute dream. You get this race, right? But then the horse has a 3-month layoff and drops from a state bred straight maiden and loses in the 30,000 maiden. And then like this horse is all over the place. But now Flavian Pratt jumps aboard. Really? And the horse is off the turf. Burn money, bumped, checked in the first start, bumped the start, cleared, then caught. I mean, you got to believe the horse is going to be right there. But do you trust this horse? Matt, sure. Sometimes, always. Speed is burnt money. Here's the thing about this horse. If this horse could ever clear, like really clear, then this horse can be really tough. Can this horse clear? Is there any pace in here? This horse, I don't think, is as fast. This horse is not. Sirocco is not, I don't think. 7 horse is fast. And dropping in class, big time. Outside post. This horse has got a big look. I mean, this is a massive drop. Went up in class last time out, spit it out. Oh, this 7 looks really, really tough to me. Paint me lucky. Paint me lucky. Brawn. I mean, it looks like there's some speed in here and that this horse could really catch them. Draws good. I would definitely watch out for Paul Geary. Likes this horse too. Lost in a 32, then went up to a 46. This is a horse that I could never have pictured even getting second. After losing by 7.5 lengths against a 32. I mean, this horse is just all like, and has the 10 post. I passed. No. I'm liking Paul Geary's horse, I got to tell you. How are we doing in Saratoga today?
You've got the mask on right there and the jockey's on top. That one's cool. I like that one.
All these scratches. I just can't do it. I can't play Saratoga. I love Saratoga. I was there a couple of years ago and loved it. But the weather. And it just changes. And so it makes us. So Scotty Longshot wins that race. Scotty Longshot wins this race. Can't do it. So almost had the ice cold trifecta in this race. 5 horse Awesome View, 52% wins the race over the 2 horse. And look on the morning lines, like it was clear. You take top 2 Scotty, top 2 win percentage by far, and the E morning line 3-2 and 9-5. I mean, that's 3 separate algorithms. Like, right? Sure, Daniel. So let's see if we can find an example. So if you look, So you see the GSR was 75 here in this last race, going 9 furlongs, okay? But it was a 62 group. This is a 58 group, so 4 points lower on the SOR, and now it's dropping 6 points on the GSR. So you got the plus of dropping an SOR, and you got the negative of dropping in GSR a little bit, right? If you look at the race before, it went 15 furlongs. That was a 52 SOR, so an easier group, and a 69 GSR. So, and the horse lost. Now you've got a 58 group and a 69 GSR. So to me, I like Flavian's aboard, but to me, this horse is a vulnerable favorite. Will be the favorite. This horse will go off as a favorite, but it's vulnerable to me. But then I can't find anybody either, right? And it does have the top GSR, and that might be enough. Lure him in. I mean, this is the one I'm leaning towards, because this horse ran in a grade 3 race last time out, went off at 13-1, and the top of the stretch is only 6 lengths back. Just been facing better horses. This is the easiest group this horse has faced. As a matter of fact, that pretty much seals it for me. So I think this horse is just doing really good. And then Bob Hess Jr., who's, not doing great, has been putting this horse over its head. But I think the 6 horse is one to look at, right? You could get anything in here. I mean, anything can happen in here. Okay, so look at this horse here. Here's an interesting horse. So 3 races back against a 70 group, the 8 horse. Okay, the 8 horse came in at the start and tired, only lost by 4 lengths at 46-1. So then comes back against a 66 group, $100,000 allowance, optional claiming, and goes off at 50-1 and stumbled to start. Throw that out. Okay. So, and then last race against a 64 group against tougher, 11-1, and gets last. But at the top of the stretch was 3.5 lengths back. This is, in a race like this horse deserves a look. 3 wins in 28 races, no bueno, right? And look at it, 7 seconds. Okay. 7 seconds. Just something you should put a note on. Okay. 9 horse, 1 win with 4 thirds in 10 tries, just breaking its maiden. This horse, 4 wins in 31 tries, 6 thirds. Earned $281,000. So this one has a little bit of backlash. Lure him. 4 wins, 5. I mean, this one's been in the money in 12 of the 18 tries. I like that. That's good. Farquhar, 1 win in 15 tries, 103,000, been in the money. This is not the worst looking horse in the world. I'll tell you that right now. 5-1 on this. Like, this is a horse I could see being there, right? Always runs good. 8 furlongs last time I had 17-1. Never really gets bet. You notice that? Look at that. But always tries. This seems to, and the last time this horse was facing a 58 group going 10 furlongs, this horse barely lost and came from well back. One deserves a look. All right. Thank you so much. Hey, Chrissy, I didn't see you there. Oh, thank you so much. You know, these shows are a little bit slower, for sure, right? I get it. Like, too. We talk about this all the time, but I think they're helpful, right? Because you're going to go back on these shows, and like you'll maybe watch this back, or you're looking at this, or you're taking notes, and or it gets you thinking. So, I do better when I talk out loud or I'm having dialogue with people, right? I seem to do better. So, okay, so then we look at liberal. Thank you, Eric. So, last 3 races, this horse has shown that it's right there. Okay, another one in a tough reel, Eclipse of Thoroughbreds. And I think this might be the second one that they've got running today. This one can run. And faced a 54 group and won. But look at this horse. Terrible breaker, slow breaker. Now, does that matter? Well, it does matter. Even at 11 furlongs, if you're breaking slow, you're losing ground. But, I mean, finished against a 54 group. Non-win is a 3 lifetime. Then goes up against an allowance group. Non-win is a 1, probably with all sorts of conditions, like not including claiming races or maiden races, that type of thing. And that's a 64 group and broke last. Only lost by 2 1/4 lengths. Not terrible. This is an easier field. Then a 56 group broke 10th. What a surprise. And barely lost. It's one of the ones. I mean, this horse can be finishing for sure. What's changed? Ricardo Gonzalez is aboard. Okay. 5's a player. Right? See what I mean? Like how tough this is? Thank you, James. So, all right, we talked about Cosmo a little bit. That note doesn't count anymore. So look at the horse drops in class, 44, goes up to Golden Gate, 44 group, and then wins. Then goes up in a 54 group, that over at Golden Gate, and now comes here. I don't like the 2. On top, anyways. 0 for 11, jockey trainer combination, Neil Drysdale and Mario Gutierrez. Not my favorite. Love. Another slow breaker, 8 furlongs, 54, won the race, broke last. It's impressive. 60 group, this horse, only 5 horses though, 4 other horses, ran okay. I don't like the 54 drop, but it is a Scotty long shot. I don't like the 12-point drop in the GSR. This horse looks like a sprinter. I mean, look at this. Sprint. Like everything is sprint. 3 to 1 on the E morning line though in Scotty long shot. So there's 2 algorithms that really like it. And Juan Hernandez gets off the 7 after winning by 4 1/4 lengths. Do you still like the 7? You're not taking a jockey off of the horse when it wins by 4 1/4 lengths. He chose to get on the 4. And how about this? Kyle Frey wins on the 9 and gets off the 9, who barely won last time out. So I'm going to get rid of the 9, and I'm getting rid of the 7 just off of that. E morning line's 15 to 1 this horse anyways. So now we're narrowing this race down a little bit, right? So live tutorials. Yeah, exactly. So, and then liberal, the jockey trainer combination, 0 for 19, 0 for 13, excuse me. I don't like the lack of races for the 1. I will say that. UC was off 2019. then January 2020, then February 2020, then been off against a decent group. But Vladimir Sarin does not drop this horse. Does not drop this horse. Farquhar could be a player.
Thank you.
Yeah, not sure what I'm going to do there. Ingram, yeah, I'm with you. All right, so let's paint me lucky. All right, so we're going to cover this race, and then I'm going to let you guys go. But don't forget, you can watch the simulcast. 6-year-old with only 7 races. Paint Me Lucky is the top pick. Second race off of a very long layoff, and got a second place finish against a 42 group. We need to use this. This will hopefully tell us how strong. So 4, 6, 8, 10. We're going to get rid of that. All right, paint me lucky. All right, let's look and see what the story with this field is. So we're looking at, you guys don't have this yet, but I'm still testing it. You guys are looking at what we call the link feature. Okay, 6 Neutrino wins this race. And this horse had, okay, so off slow climbing had broke bad and then won. Hot Pursuit. That's not a bad field. Okay, so we know that this horse faced a decent field. 25%, a good GSR. All right, sometimes always. Let's look at this. This horse was coming in from Churchill Downs. You got the Ship and Win. And sometimes always faced the 6-horse Bold Adventure. What was the story with this horse? Terrible field. Look at this. Faces winners, doesn't run a lick. So that's not good. And somebody said that these horses weren't running from Churchill. So that might bode well for the one Pay Me Lucky. Big Well. I'm throwing this last race out, 58-1. I really want to look and see how this horse did here. On the dirt, going 8.5 furlongs. Mount Peliar. And how's this horse done?
I was calling to see if you talked to the book.
Like hell. Don't like that. So you see what's happened. Now I'm really starting to like the one a lot. Poseidon Wrath. That was a tougher group, impressed. I want to see how this horse did here at Santa Anita. Only faced 2 other horses. But they were decent. Okay. So right now, I'm like 1-7. Let's look at the 3. This horse lost by 31. It's dropping in class from straight maiden. You know these horses are going to look good. Simon Callahan giving up on this horse. Price play. Not impossible. I already know if I look at the past races, the horse is going to look good because it's facing a much, much easier. Let's see what happened here. So faced Careless Kitten. This horse was scratched? No. God, you can't like this horse, right? Yeah, it's coming. You'll be able to go back and look at these horses. This horse wins the race. It was a first-time starter. And, you know, in a lot of times shitty races like this, first-time starters win. No doubt about it. Vaporized, came back and ran like hell. Dropped in class, didn't run. I think it was a really weak group. I know Paul said he thinks his horse has a chance, but I'm going to stick with the 1-7. I'm going to say 1-7, and I'm going to say 1-7-10. You know what? I'm going to look at the 3 real quickly, though. I do need to look at the 3. I got to give it a chance. Let's see. Let's look at this race. Wow. Yeah. I mean, he is dropping in class. Kenta Soma's running good. 8-1 in the morning line, 9-1 in the morning line, 10 horses, 20-1 in the morning line. You know, it could really go either way. You know what? I'm going to say 2. I'm going to go with Flavian to come in third. 1-7-2. So paint me lucky. All right, so that's 1-7-2. That's where I'm going. So here's an overview. $419 in race number 1. I like the numbers here. Six, 1, 2. Five, 6, 1 in race number 3. Yeah, Churchill horses are not doing good. Okay, this race. Okay, 6, 5, 4, 3, 7. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm going to have to look at that a little bit closer, but it's those 5. Okay. 10's a single. I'm going 10, 4, 2. I'm probably going to make that horse my best bet of the day. 1, 6, 3, the Chosen Brawn. I mean, obviously, I could make this horse my best bet, but that's what everyone's going to do. 4-5 on the morning line. And then here in this race, I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. But it's narrowed down to these 6 horses. And then race number 8, 1-7-2. 1-7-2. All right, you guys, I'm going to let you go. And I wish you all the best today. Don't forget to watch the simulcast, okay? We'll be back here tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. 11 races over at Del Mar. The Bing Crosby tomorrow. Very wide open race. We'll go over that. And, yeah, big weekend of racing. So I hope you guys do well. And let's continue the hot streak from yesterday. And so watch the simulcast. It's at, I want to say 3:02, 3:05 p.m. Pacific. Okay. Thanks, Daniel. And then I'll have these dialed in, and then you'll get more information too. So I'm going to have some time to go look at this a little bit carefully too. So I'll be doing that. So Cindy, I wish you all the best. Race 4. Yeah, let's see here. What am we doing here? Well, I'm using the 6.5. What are you using in there? Thank you, Eric. Thanks, Vito. I think this race is wide open. Oh, that's right. You're going with I'm the boss of me. That's right. I'm a big SOR player, right? You guys know that. Like I'm big, and I live and die with the SOR. Now I recognize this horse won by 11 lengths, but it also was, and it was off the layoff, no doubt. But that was such an easier field. So I'm going against horses that have low SORs like that almost always. 2-2-2. I know. Well, I wish you all the best. So, all right, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow back here at 9:30, hopefully, and I hope you guys do well and kill it. Okay. Talk to you later.